Divyangi Devi, please lead us in kirtan.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just started. We weren't sure what time you were going to.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, welcome. You came last week, I think, right? Nice to have you. You ready?
Good morning and, loud today. Good morning and welcome everybody to our Sunday program, to Bhagavat Sravana. Thank you Divyangi, Devi, for leading us in Kirtan and getting us kicked off for the day. So we have a wonderful program set up for everyone today. Kind of basic outline is going to be that we just had some Kirtan, we're going to have a lovely class. We'll have some more Kirtan and an arti. Bharata Mudidar, and then we will have Prasadam in the back. Is there anybody whose first time it is at Bhakti Center or first time at this program? Our friend, welcome, welcome. Will you share your name with everybody?
Yeah, it's Indrajit.
Indrajit, it's so nice to meet you. You said you're visiting from Savannah?
Yeah,
Wonderful. How long will you be in town for?
I'm just for next couple of days.
Just for the next couple of days. Oh, we're so lucky to have you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Okay, so we'll move along to the class portion. So I'm very pleased to introduce Divyangi Devi Dasi, who will be giving class today. She's originally from Belarus, and she spent the last 9 years in the ashrams of New York City. She loves arts and cooking and book distribution. She serves very regularly at Radha Govinda Temple, and she is a wonderful painter and devotional artist, I've heard. And we're so lucky to have her. So please welcome her. She will be giving a class on the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, please take a seat and I'll move the microphone for you.
Hare Krishna, we'd also like to welcome His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Tat Paramaharaj. Nice to have you with us, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Nice to be here.
Thank you. And this is your son? Yeah,
Yes.
so very nice, very nice. Thank you for coming. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. It's always so hard to speak about yourself, you know, when someone asks you, tell something about yourself. I have something to say. But thank you. I'm very honored to be here. Yeah, I love, actually, I started the Bhakti Center many years ago, in 2016. The first place where I came was the Bhakti Center. And after reading His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj's journey home, and actually the first time I saw him here, that he was floating around. He wasn't walking, he was floating. And actually I happened to hear his wonderful class, one of his wonderful classes on Guru Purnima, which is a common festival that we're going to celebrate on Thursday. You guys going to celebrate on Thursday too? Nice. Yeah. And Jai. So I happened to hear his class and I took lots of very wonderful notes. Maharaj is very transcendental for me. So I just took inspiration from him and some more information. So I was asked to speak more about Guru Purnima festival, which is appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you guys come in here all regularly. Who is on the altar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who is? Do you know who? Who? Yes, the one who's standing with the like this, right? Very beautiful form, Gaura Chandra. Actually, Radha Maharaj happened to install him in 2017 or 18, I believe. I was here, but I don't remember the year. So it's absolutely, Krishna absolutely wonderful deity, and I feel like so many things have changed in New York since he came to Bhakti Center. More preaching, more Harinam, more different activities. So first of all, I would like to offer my prayers to my spiritual master, to Srila Prabhupada, and and to all the senior devotees and ask for blessings from all the senior devotees, like Satyaraj Prabhu, who I know for years. And of course, Prabhu, if you can give me your blessings, Maharaj, please, so I can speak something like the Shastra and beneficial for everyone. Thank you. If you know the prayers, you can repeat with me. Om Jnanatimirandasya Ranjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Namayan Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Savana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Savaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakam Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopeshwar Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhate Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimad Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Wow, you even get this nice tune. This melody is very beautiful. Yeah. So, one of the first times I met devotees and I spoke with them, they said, you will have to memorize it by the time of your initiation, all this prayer. And I was thinking, oh my God, it will never happen. And I actually did. So it's very cool. Thank you so much for helping me. Sometimes it's easy to forget. So, today we're going to speak probably on the most amazing topic ever, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You guys are familiar with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Because you know that sometimes people know about Krishna, people know about Radha, people know about Ramayana and Mahabharata, but not everyone knows usually about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his actually amazing greatest mission for our movement, like that, what you all do, good. So, there are a few very famous books which were written by our acharyas. First one is Chaitanya Charitamrita. How many of you heard of this one? How many of you read this one? Yeah, good. So it was compiled by Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Another one is Chaitanya Bhagavat, which was compiled by Vrindavan Das Thakur. And if you actually combine these two books together, you'll get full pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because first book was written, this is a biography of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and first book was written by Vrindavan Das Thakur. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, some time later, he received an order to write also biography of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he was concerned that it was already written by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So whatever pastimes he didn't include in his book, which is Chaitanya Bhagavat. he included in his book Chaitanya Charitamrita. So if you read it, everything, you will get a full meaning. Of course, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes unlimited, but at least what was revealed for us, for our age, we can actually read like that. And there is another book by great devotee Lord Chandas Thakur, Chaitanya Mangal. This is a little bit more deeper. My spiritual authorities said you can't read it before you finish Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I haven't read it, but I heard it's a wonderful book. It's very, very personal, very intimate. So the way they compiled it, it was also very amazing because they didn't just, think that, oh, I think this is the right thing to put it there, my experience with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how usually, false ego would dictate us, that, I know better than anybody else. They didn't do this. So they actually consulted with great devotees, journals, and their experience with Lord Chaitanya, and based on these devotees, they wrote these books. They wrote biographies, so something called parampara, right, that we follow in. We don't imagine something else, we just follow in whatever was said before. And of course, it's Swarup Damodar Goswami, who was intimate secretary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Murari Gupta. He had his diaries also, so it was all based. So it's really great books to read. And I find it even more interesting to read sometimes than Srimad Bhagavatam, because Srimad Bhagavatam, it's kind of, sometimes it gets the feel that, oh, it happened thousands of millions of years ago, so how to relate to it, even though obviously it's wonderful, it's one of the most amazing books. But Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's very close to us, it's very close to what we do right now, and even like all these exalted devotees, we can relate more. So His Holiness Kadamba Khan Maharaj was given discourse some years ago in Burton Temple here. Also, he gave some classes on Chaitanya Charitamrita in 2021, and he was saying how we should take pastimes of Lord Chaitanya as the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita as role models for us, how to deal with different devotees, how to act, how to behave. Because also Lord Chaitanya, he came, as you all know, in disguise. So there is this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam where it says that Lord Krishna comes in different incarnations, right, for different age, and it says only like 3 of them, right, even though it's 4 yugas, 4 ages, right, but it says only about 3, because for Kali Yuga, it's actually hidden incarnation. So, when Lord Chaitanya, when someone would say that, you're Krishna himself, he would close his ear and he would say, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Right? So he didn't want to hear that, anybody praises him like that. And, given us very good example how to actually behave with devotees and, not to misinterpret many things, that sometimes even when you go out in book distribution, even in New York, you can meet so many gods. You can meet so many people who says, I'm Krishna, I'm Buddha, I'm Jesus Christ. Yeah. And it's funny, and then you ask them something they don't know, and then you're like, okay, you can't be Buddha, you can't be Jesus Christ. But people really think like this, unfortunately. But what to do, Kali Yuga. And this is actually brings us to the point why Lord Chaitanya came. There is a very deep meaning, and there are many reasons why he came. One of the most important 2 reasons, very esoteric one, which is, by feeling separation from, like Radharani was feeling separation from Krishna, right? And then basically, that's how Lord Chaitanya came. So it even says that, Radharani has golden color, and Krishna has, like bluish color. So when they combine, they would kind of get, like it's Radharani's color because it's in the mood of Srimati Radharani, like that. So whatever Lord Chaitanya experiences is what Srimati Radharani experiences. It's very deep topic. But another reason why he came, which is more relevant to us and what we do every day, is to preach. is to show compassion to all the living entities and to actually show us how to worship Krishna. Like that, right? And so even going back to past times, to Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda and all their associates, they were having lots of fun those times. What they were doing, Lord Chaitanya introduced wonderful way to preach, which is chanting and dancing, right? This is quite amazing because even this process, right? What can be easier to just chant and dance? That's all we want to do, right? If you go outside, people want to dance on different, what do you call it, clubs, right? And all this. So we just have to turn it a little bit and then dance for Krishna. So no much change like that, right? And even when many devotees, right now and before also, it's an ongoing pastime, we like to complain. Let's complain about things. Living in the temple, complaining. Living outside, complaining. Building one ashram, complaining. Building another ashram, complaining. So it's an ongoing thing. And even in Srila Prabhupada's time, devotees also complain a lot. And when they would come with different lists of different complaints and concerns, he would just say, you just simply chant and dance. Just do dancing and chanting, and everything will be fine. But you would say, but what about this and this and that? He said, just simply chant and dance. Isn't it amazing? And if you think about it, it's very easy. It's very simple, I would say, simple. And also, Srila Prabhupada said it's so simple that it's so, I'm paraphrasing of course, I don't remember exactly, but he said it's so simple that you can even miss it. That's how, it's so simple, wonderful Krishna consciousness, we can just miss it, we just pass by, don't even see that it's there. But this is the process what Lord Chaitanya gave us, and if we just follow the instructions, everything will be alright. So what we do in New York, which you know for sure, we do Harinam every single day for 13 years by now, every single day on the streets of New York. And so many people came through this, particular project, and you can see how people's hearts are changing. And you actually see how Lord Chaitanya's simple, easy sometimes, but simple mission is actually working. Because all we have to have, what big devotees had, in Lord Chaitanya's associates, they had lots of humility, lots of sincerity, right? Lots of these amazing qualities which we're aspiring for. And of course, if we don't have some qualities ourselves, the way we can get them is just by associating with someone who already has these qualities, right? And it's rubs off you. This thing, you want it, you don't want it, but the association is very powerful. So they're saying, tell me who your friend, and I'll tell you who's your friend. Right, like that. And there is amazing song also. This is by actually Chandas Thakur. If you heard of it, Paramakarana, and he sings very beautifully, Paramakarana Pahaluijan Nitai Gorachandra. So in the translation, it says that it's actually about the compassion. The song Karuna means mercy, compassion, right? And that they were giving out so much compassion and towards everyone. All famous story about Jagai and Madai, right? So these people, they were really low, women hunters, drunkards, and it's a very famous story. And even in their case, right, Lord Nityananda, who was the most compassionate, we celebrated Nityananda a month ago. So he actually asked Lord Chaitanya, not to be compassionate towards them. So, and we see that right now is the age where everyone is Jikan Madai, even lower, they had at least some humility after, hitting Lord Nityananda to actually ask for forgiveness. And sometimes we see that nowadays we don't even have this, like so much pride and so much false ego that it's very hard to be humble. But Lord Chaitanya knew about all this. He didn't write any books. He just wrote 8 verses. That's all, only 8 verses. And with these 8 verses, they actually have everything what we need to know. It's a progression, The first, let's see, quiz. What about English? We started doing this in our temple in Brooklyn. That usually we say, in the morning you say in Bengali or Sanskrit, right? And then we started saying it in English. And I realized, oh my God, I know like some of it, but I don't know everything word by word. So it's very nice. And so it is progression. The first, it starts that how powerful holy name of Krishna. That's what he's saying. That whoever chants this holy name. Yeah, we know all Bengali, but English very powerful also. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtan. She cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction wind. It is the life waters of total knowledge, it infuses the ocean of the destiny. And it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. And then the next verse is really amazing, that because it says, I'm going to read the whole thing, but how wonderful it is, right? How the Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach your holy name, but I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. And who is saying this? Lord Chaitanya is saying this. Can you imagine? He has no attraction. So even if he has such a great humility, we at least we have to pay, a little bit attention to how to get there, how to have this humility. Because humility, this is really a pathway to advancement in spiritual life. And what really advancement in spiritual life means that you have actually, deep, sincere, and honest relationships with everyone, and you actually sharing what you have with others. That's what they did. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, and all the associates. They would just go around and they would sing, of course, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but also this amazing bhajan, Jiv Jago, right? Please wake up, sleeping souls. And just following their example, which is what Sankirtan movement is, right? That's what we also doing, right? We asking people to please chant, come chant with us, come dance with us. And you see how many people's lives is just changing so much, just because from chanting and dancing. This is really amazing. Right? And what to speak about books? Yeah. So, I really like how Radha Maharaj, in his class, he said that Sankirtan movement is truly a gift. He's saying how in different ages, so many things people would have to do, and it was quite difficult. Like if you have to meditate for like hundreds of years, that's quite difficult. Maybe even boring sometimes. Who can sit for 5 minutes? For 1 minute even, right? Like so, it was scroll the phone and like so fast, everything is so fast. But people did it, right? And they required the most stages, right, to actually approach the whole name. We didn't have, Lord Chaitanya also is an incarnation. He doesn't appear, like in every age, or it's not like scheduled incarnation. So it's really just, even like his appearance it's truly out of compassion for all of us. Because what can we even do in Kali Yuga? How can we become qualified? We actually can't. We cannot really, meditate for thousands of years. We don't even live thousands of years. To dedicate everything to meditation, right? Or isn't the next one? What was the process? Deity worship or yagyas?
Oh, yeah, meditation and then
Yagyas also, right? I was just talking to my spiritual master, Vashashika Prabhu, about yagyas, particular yagyas. And he was saying how, there are so many different rules, so many different, things what you kind of do during this yagyas, but the main thing is actually to get blessings of devotees. Why we do yagyas? Because everyone comes, right? And, just to be in association with devotees, that's already a blessing. So this is the actual purpose of these different yagyas. So we kind of not qualified to follow all these different rules. Not just because of age, we might even want, but we don't have so much ability to follow so many things. And so for our age, right, it's why Maharaj says that it's a gift, because it's so, like I said, it's so simple, but it's so powerful. Imagine the soul, right, it just wanders all over the universe, all over the different universes, ages, lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes, like just like that. And until, unless the soul meets a spiritual teacher or a devotee on the street who just gives a book, who just says Hare Krishna, and then all life has changed for this person, whether he wants it or he doesn't want it. I don't remember who said it, but like book distribution, maybe it's even his guest Vashashika Prabhu was saying that when we give out books, right, or we chant outside and see people hear it a little bit, right, at least a little bit, and then they can't go back. He says, damage is done. You can't just go back. And it definitely will affect. It's like a time bomb. That's how Prabhupada would call the books, right? That you give out a book, and then, who knows, after 100 lifetimes, maybe this lifetime, maybe not even the same person, but someone else, a friend of this person will read the book, and life will be changed. Yeah. So it is very rare that we have Mahamantra, we have actually the highest thing, but sometimes, at least me, it's like we don't realize how high it is and how, easily we get it. Like that. Of course, there are different, there is a depth to it that, we have to do, we have to follow some rules, like we have 40 logic principles and all these nice things. But compared with what people had to do before, it was nothing, isn't it? It's not that hard. Also, Maharaj suggests to actually remember the goal. When you have a goal in front of you, right, and when you have to go through something, some kind of regulations, rules, then they don't seem so hard. So it's because the goal is very high, the goal is very wonderful, to actually be with Krishna, with Lord Chaitanya, wherever you guys want to go. Yeah, one of the interesting things Kadabhakanda Maharaj said in his last conversation. He said, I really want to go to Krishna Lila, and also I want to go to Chaitanya Lila, basically to experience, pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also Radha Krishna's pastimes. So, but in the spiritual world, I guess we can do both. Yeah, I guess Maharaj has done this both. And even when we have this goal, when we realize what we want, then even different, there are heavy things also, right? When Lord Chaitanya was chanting on a street, what happened, there is one person, very powerful person, he came and he broke me down. And he said, you cannot chant anymore. Forget it. That's too much. You're going overboard. Little here and there, your religion, yeah, that's fine, but not like this. You have so many followers. Like you cannot do this. And this was who? Chant cousin. Yes. And well, we're also going through difficulties, right? It's preaching is actually. It says that it's a high sadhana. And it's very purifying. And many people just, say we don't need it. This is like the best thing what they can say, we don't need it. But sometimes you get insulted and, like that. It's not always nice and pleasurable. But if you remember the goal, why we're doing something, and especially if we remember this example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, what they were going through, this was very cool to read these books, right? Before, you try to, talk to someone or, yeah. So, there's a very nice, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, every chapter opens up with first verse, and it's like a prayer in itself. It's very beautiful verses, and they're all like so unique, every single chapter, and so beautiful. One of my favorites, I can tell you, I put it right here. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one does not remember him, then easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. So,
Sorry, that was very nice.
That's my favorite. But there, sometimes I even read. Actually, devotees from ISV, ISKCON of Silicon Valley, they compiled, like the document which has only like first verses of each chapter, so you get all the nectar. But I didn't. It's very nice. So there are many different examples in our philosophy how sincere and honest people, they were actually insulted and they were they weren't treated nicely. And you can think of some devotees who, yes.
Haridas Thakur.
Haridas Thakur, that's one wonderful example. How can you tell a little bit more?
So Haridas Thakur was born in a Muslim family, and he heard he encountered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and upon that encounter, he fell in love with the Maha Mantra. He became the Namacharya. He could not stop chanting. He chanted 3 lakhs every day, which drew the ire of the local authorities, and they were so upset with him, especially since he had converted from Islam, that they beat him in 26 marketplaces to set the example that don't do this, don't convert from Islam. So actually, it was so bad that they even the people beating him, they were upset. They said, because he was smiling, he was happy even at the time. So, but he survived, of course.
Thank you. Yeah, that's such a great example, Haridas Thakur. And he never complained, right? He never said, why me? He never complained, right? So it's such a nice attitude. It's hard to even imagine, right? How can there's a small thing happens, to us, and then we start, am I gonna blame me? Oh, come on, Krishna, are you there? Yeah. But something amazing Radhika Raman Prabhu said in one of his seminars a few months back, he was given at ISV about the prayers. He said that we have to write our own Bhagavatam. Basically what it means, what's Bhagavatam? It's a stories what happened to different devotees, right? And what our own Bhagavatam is that, how actually Krishna reciprocated with you in difficult times, and because he always reciprocates. And just by remembering this, you gain more and more and more faith, right? And then your faith becomes very strong. So no matter what is happening, you're still, going on with your services and, with with preaching. No matter what happened. And okay, what else? Who else? Do you know examples of people who were treated well in our literatures?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj. That's such a wonderful example. How he was treated.
He was burned. He was been poisoned by his father. He was thrown from a cliff by his father.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not very nice.
it was more dangerous that his father wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
At least we are not in that situation.
Right? Yeah, I like the way you think. Everything we can, it's like everything in comparison, because it's so hard, but actually what people were going through, it was very hard. And in case of Prahlad Maharaj, he also didn't, this, like you can see so much humility and simplicity. It says that the most amazing quality of a Vaishnav is actually simplicity, because from simplicity comes humility and sincerity, right? If Srila Prabhupada said simple for the simple, right? Crooked for the crooked. Like that. So if it's simple in the heart, then everything becomes simple, right? Prabhupada Maharaj, you see, he was just, when his dad asked him, right, like, what did you, learn? He could have just said one word. He could have just said economics. That's all it requires. But he was just so simple. He didn't say it. He said, Dad, I think that, I learned that everyone should become Krishna conscious, and I think, in fact, you should become Krishna conscious. And, this is where all your power comes from, and, very simple. Well, how simple is that? And, of course, in both these situations, what you just said, right, Krishna protected them without even asking, like that. And, okay, who else? Yes.
Two comes to mind, but I'll say one.
Shiva. Leave one for someone else.
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva. Oh. How he was mistreated?
I think wasn't they said protector of the Dham, and you can't come here, and because he's covered in ashes, and but there's a couple. I think also was that where he was in a palace.
Daksha.
Daksha's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That's wonderful. We actually reading it right now in our Bhagavatam sessions in the morning in the temple. It's a huge, long pastime. Wonderful. All the pride, just like a lot. All about all figure. Yeah, that's a good example. Thank you. What else? Yes. Who?
Draupadi.
Draupadi. Yeah. How she was mistreated.
So she was in the, I don't know how to say, Dyutsava, in the game of dice. They lost her, and Duryodhana and Dushasana was mistreating her, and she was holding on to many things, but then in the end she said Govinda, and he protected her.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's such a nice pastime. Very instructive also. Yeah, about Lord Shiva, right? Also, I want to say that, what he said nothing. He said nothing. Which is wonderful. Sometimes we have to say nothing, in different situations, because argument can be only between two people or more, right? If other person doesn't go for it, then there's an argument. Like that. Yeah, Draupadi, of course, she was a little fiery at first, but then she seemed like forgave, very sweet nature. Okay, anybody else? Who else? It comes to your mind? Anybody? Maharaj.
Yeah. I want to remember a pastime of Lord Chaitanya. He can stop to chant a holy name, the Mahamantra Hare Krishna. But when he entered to the bathroom, he cast his tongue away to stop. Was a child, a devotee child with him. When he saw him, what happened? Why why don't you chant inside the bathroom? No, it's not good because it's contaminated. But what happened if you left the body inside the bathroom? Which is so, oh, you are my good. Yes, Lord Chaitanya can teach us, or Lord Krishna also, in different ways. He can use us to make a teaching to us. That's a nice pastime. But I like the pastime to learn, you know, to learn more, because it's easier to remember for me. Because when I read, I learn also, but maybe I forgot. But I recommend to read the pastimes also. It's very nice. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. This is such a wonderful story, actually. As you were telling, I remember it, yeah. Basically, it's such an instructive pastime also, because whoever tells you, to chant the whole name, you should listen to this person. No matter how, fallen maybe they are, or, how, different faith or something, right? But this is actually what we should do. If someone tells you not to chant, then don't do that. Chant. And it reminded me also something Ayendra Prabhu said about Harinam and about Sankirtan, of course, that if whatever you're doing, how did he say it? If whatever you're doing helps you to spend more time, I'm paraphrasing, spend more time at Harinam to chant, then whatever you're doing is very good. But if whatever you do that doesn't allow you to actually go out or chant, then you have to ask yourself, why are you doing this? So yeah, he said it, of course, in a more artistic way, very nice. But it's very important that we have, Maharaj said that we have to read, it's very important that we read. Of course, we listen to different, exalted devotees, different lectures, but also it's very important that we read ourselves, because also Krishna reciprocates with you personally in your heart, right? And through these pastimes, as Maharaj said, it's very easy to remember. It's just so fun and easy, but they're so deep. But especially, sometimes I also see how more inexperienced devotees just tell the pastime, right? And for us it's just fun and just so cool. But I remember how Kadambakanda Maharaj was saying about these pastimes. He just knew so many details. He must have been there, How else you can know these details? He knew all the names. He knew who came, how it all, and goes into depths of it. It was just so wow. You really felt like you were there in these pastimes. So you see advancement. That's how it is. Like that. So we're going through different devotees. Yeah, I have a few more here. I was thinking about Vidura also. He was severely mistreated, right in his face. It's actually a very strong verse in Bhagavatam how he was pierced in his heart by the words of Dhritarashtra, right? Or Duryodhana, yeah. Very, very, heavy. But what he did, he just went on pilgrimage. And then, he made up his mind a little bit and they need help. So much compassion, right? And he came back and, started instructing them. And Ambarish Maharaj, also very wonderful example, how he was mistreated by Durasa Muni. And there's this interesting, very, how do you call it, you can almost picture it, this pastime when Durasa Muni, he called for a demon, and the demon was very, scary and ferocious. And then he started coming towards Ambrish Maharaj. And Ambrish Maharaj, he wouldn't even go back, even for one step, you know. That's how he was just so like humble and simple and like, okay, if I'm supposed to die, whatever, it's fine. You know, like very, very humble, very. And you see all the devotees, they were protected. And in our own lives, we see there's so many different stories from different devotees, how they were protected. Not the way maybe, you know, we would expect it to be. Because again, Krishna gives what we need, not what we want. Only Krishna knows the way to protect each and every person. Sometimes he protects material body, sometimes he protects the soul, you know, like that. So for every person, it will be, you know, your personal relationships, like this, whatever you need particularly. So I think Arti is 12:30, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can just speak more. Let's just talk. Let's have a conversation. What do you guys think? What do you think? You can say whatever you like about Lord Chaitanya, or any question, or any corrections, any pastimes you want to share, or wherever you feel inspired. Yes.
Two things come to mind. Two
Okay.
more people that were offended were the Pandavas, right? Narada Muni.
Narada, how he was offended
Oh, yeah.
many times.
Jai, Nisa. Oh.
You know, actually my grandmother says, it's not what you know, it's about who you know. And there's your consciousness. So this is a very bright example. Jai.
Narada Muni was offended. I think a lot of times, I was thinking Murari the hunter, they didn't actually offend him, but they weren't exactly.
Nice.
Like most places he went, he was treated well. I don't know past time where he was actually offended. At least it's not coming to mind.
There was one story where someone, I don't remember who, but he was cursed that he wouldn't stay in one place. Remember this one?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh
that
my God,
was-
what a blessing.
That was Daksha again, and his second birth, because he had all these sons, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Avalaksha, you know the names, the sons? Narada Muni preached to all these sons and they all became brahmacharis, they all became sannyasis. They all took sannyas and then he was cursed. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Daksha.
And then also-
Second
Sanat
example.
Kumar.
Huh?
Sanat Kumar.
Sanat Kumar, what?
Chatush Kumar, right? The son of Daksha.
Daksha.
Who became brahmachari by Narada Muni.
These were two, but these were first, I believe. And then he got
There were
angry, and then he got another sense, and then
two sets of sons, like 1,000 or 10,000
Yeah, yeah,
sons,
yeah.
and he preached them. It wasn't it wasn't the Prachetas, no. Anyway, he was,
But,
you're
yeah.
right, he did get cursed. He got cursed that he couldn't stay in one place.
Right, well, that's Narada Muni.
and it's actually amazing how
But he said,
Narada Muni Vajrabhina. He has to travel like a spaceman.
yes, everybody is an interesting character. He always gets, you know, interesting treatment. Meaning, you know, he kind of like, you know how these like TV shows kind of like, ooh, let's add some spice in here, you know. That's how Narada Muni. What if I say this person about this person? Okay. But of course he does, he's transcendental. He does it just for the sake of that, you know, Krishna would come, you know, as incarnation faster, or, you know, he would kill demons much faster. So he does it for this purpose, you know, not to create drama with that. Yeah. And
it was Daksha, and the first 10,000 sons were named the Haryashvas. Yeah, he instructed to populate the Daksha asked them to be progenitors, which means to populate the world, and he told them to become celibates. His accomplishment. Then there was another 7 sons.
yeah, thank you. Anything else? Any thoughts? Yes.
I also like what you said, how Kadamba Maharaj goes into great detail. It's so loud. It's a great detail on descriptions of Krishna's pastimes, and that reminds me of when you hear these great stories of Prabhupada's disciples explaining how Prabhupada would have to, because there was no books available, and Prabhupada was printing his books, translating his books, so he would instruct all these artists to make these pictures, and they would actually these really complex aspects of anything from Krishna's ornaments to where he is, and Prabhupada would just like sometimes respond like he was there or something, and he would just say, oh no, Krishna likes this, paint him like this.
Yeah, they would always go to reference.
Yeah,
Krishna
it's
Prabhupada.
quite amazing actually.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this. Yes. And I was thinking about this past time also with Narada Muni, when he got cursed. Actually, there is in purport, Srila Prabhupada says that he was similarly cursed by the parents of his disciples. That he wouldn't stay in one place more than 3 days, something like that. Yeah, but the way, all these people, Narada Muni, even Srila Prabhupada, the way it was taken by them, just like blessing. Just like a blessing. Because, whatever Krishna does, it's all for our good, and it doesn't seem like it, but in the long run, we will see how it works out somehow or other. Alright, like that. Yeah, anything else? Any other country?
Vidura, I was in and out, so I don't know if you mentioned about him. Vidura, did you mention?
Wait, so you can say more.
If we said already about Vidura,
I just said his name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was mistreated by Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and so many times, and then he was banished from Hastinapur. And the other person coming to my mind was Vibhishan. I don't know if you mentioned him. So when he came to take shelter of Lord Ram, first it was, I think, Sugriva and the other people were like, no, he's from the demon side, we shouldn't trust him. And so he was kind of mistreated that way, but he didn't take it to his heart, and then he still took shelter of Lord Ram.
Nice, yeah. Thank you for bringing us to the round Kila, which will come in right after Gaura Purnima. Yes. Jai. Thank you. Yes.
Devki and Vasudev. Yeah, this fact.
Yeah, you see how amazing, like, we remember these, like, stories, just like Mary said, right? It's just so easy to relate and to remember the stories. You just remember right away, It's nice.
Yeah, they were mistreated by Kamsa. He killed their child. Yeah. But yeah, all of this is part of Leela. Actually, everything is part of Leela.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. The other group of sons was the Savalashvas. So the Haryashvas and the Savalashvas. Anyway, once I get that in my head, I gotta figure it out. I had a question. Why are we discussing devotees that had difficulties?
Well,
I
we're
just
discussing
missed the connection to Lord Chaitanya, maybe.
because they were all mistreated, and we also can be mistreated in different ways in our lives, whether it's preaching or in just day-to-day life, and just to have this, humility, sincerity, and simplicity. And basically, this is how these people were. The Lord Chaitanya's associates, they were. There are times when they would complain, but it, wasn't like kind of heavy. It's all like someone said, part of Leela. It's just for the sake of pastime, just for the sake of get out something else of Lord Chaitanya. You know how Lord Nityananda broke his danda, so it wasn't necessarily just because he wanted to, but there is obviously a deeper meaning to it, right? That he wasn't like, why have to be sannyasi? It's like you're God himself. You don't need this type of things like that. But also just to so Lord Chaitanya can actually perform more pastimes in this way. It's like if everything is just how when like devotees and friends, they don't necessarily always have like a good relationships, right? Sometimes they complain, sometimes they kind of, what they do. But it's all like on a platform of love, like this. So, because it's more interesting when you're with someone in a relationship like this. You don't offend these people necessarily, but it's just the relationships. That's how it is. It makes it more interesting. And of course, we see, Radha Krishna, different pastimes like that, well, for this purpose. Yeah, so yeah, I connected that, also by comparing our own stories with the stories of different devotees, we can see how actually it's not that bad at all. I mean, of course, we should honor our own stories, and it means a lot, right? Because we are going through this. We have real emotions, we have real experience of it. But again, it's not, as it could be. And of course, it says that for Krishna, for his devotees, it's always minimized. Always minimized. So you had to have 100% of some reaction, but you get probably 0.001%, like this.
It's pretty intense, especially if you think about Prahlad and Devaki, if their situation was minimized.
Right?
Yeah. When you mentioned, I was thinking of, I can't remember, it was Ramchandra Khan, who Mahaprabhu was receiving so many offerings of prasad from different people, and he started criticizing even Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya's, everyone said, oh, don't pay attention to him. And then Lord Chaitanya said, no, he is right. I'm a sannyasi, I shouldn't overeat. And then because he came to visit him and he saw ants or something, and he says, because you're eating so much. Do you remember who that was? Do you remember that?
I don't remember who that was, but I remember that he did it on purpose. Like, he wasn't very favorable to Chaitanya, so he kind of did it to expose him, that it's like, oh yeah, he's not like
Discredit him.
Discredit, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't nice. That's what, you see, like when you reach a Chaitanya, there's, it's just so, catching, it's like you just can't stop, read, especially if it's, philosophy is sometimes hard to read for me personally, but pastimes, just so nice, because they were especially created for our age, the pastimes, like the stories, so nice to remember, and, yeah, and one of suggestions one of the senior devotees once gave me, if you remember something, okay, we read in the book, for example, okay, I have to start from page 1 to page 10 today and things like that. But if you remember some kind of pastime, right, don't hesitate, just go and read this pastime again. Because, it's actually created some kind of samskara in your memory, and read it again, you'll remember it. And the more we remember it, the more, our heart will be absorbed in these different stories. So, like that. Even if it's not on the reading schedule right now. Just go ahead and read it. I find it very helpful because, our devotion practice, it should be very alive. We shouldn't go to this space where we kind of just dragging ourselves to okay, let me just chant. Okay, I'm gonna go to Bhagavatam class. Okay, this temple. Oh yeah, I love it. It's it's because it's also sincerity, right? And honesty. We have to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes we see how, there's a beautiful picture of something. Maybe one family with wonderful devotees, super exalted, but then what's going on inside, right? That's what matters. That's what Krishna sees. Not what's going on outside, but a nice picture. Like that. So again, the sincerity, it's a very deep concept. When devotees in early days, they would ask Srila Prabhupada, how can we teach others to distribute books? Techniques, how? What should we tell them? And he said, teach them to be sincere. Because if a person is sincere, then Krishna is a super soul in everyone's heart. He said everyone has his or her own genius in the heart. If they are sincere, he will guide them. What to say, how to act, but you have to connect, and to connect through this, sincerity. And again, how to connect? We have to cleanse our heart. How to cleanse our heart? To chant. To chant, do more kirtan, do more chanting, especially very purified, do kirtan with random people, outside. Temple is nice, it's all needs to be there, but also outside, it's so nice. Because it's like you just, it's only you and Krishna. Like, and what happens? I don't know. I don't know, I can't predict these things. But, he will send you right person, purify your heart. And it's really wonderful. Yes,
To add to what you said, he
Yes.
also said, read my books.
yes. He actually gave this instruction to my spiritual master. He's very special, Shri Prabhu. He was on a team with Tripuran Maharaj, and they came to, the best book distributors, to Srila Prabhupada for darshan. And, they gave like scores, how much you distributed, like that. And then Srila Prabhupada said, yes, very good, but you also have to read my books. Yes, that's it. Because he said, I've written them not only for selling, but for you to read it, to become pure devotees, you go back home, back to Godhead. Jai, on this note, we might hear the conch shell.
While we're waiting for the conch shell, in our last few minutes, we have a few days before Gaura Purnima. I'm still joining Ty's question from last week. What is one thing you recommend us do to prepare for Gaura Purnima?
Do Harinam around the block. Have the Bhagavatam class. You can do 5-10 minutes, but just do it. Don't think, don't turn off your mind, and just go and do it for 5 minutes. That's it. But then you won't be able to stop. Yes. And of course, as much service as possible. Make a nice cake for Lord Chaitanya. Make nice decorations for Lord Chaitanya. I got my DJ's Gornitai 6 years ago, and my spiritual master, I asked him, how should I worship them? And he said, do kirtan and feed them at least once a day. But do kirtan. The most important thing, chanting. Which is the best way to. You know how if you know someone's heart, you can do so many things around it. Yeah, everyone needs to eat. Everyone would appreciate if you clean around, but if you know that the person's heart is, if I do this, he'll be dissatisfied. And it's chanting for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to reach out to people, preaching. If you give away a book, try, nothing bad will happen. The worst thing that can happen, people tell you, I don't need it. Or they will ignore you. It's good for figure. Yes.
On the account of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we were talking about. Prabhupada gave us the basic example that nothing is powerful than Harinam. He started just with Kartas and Kirtan, and then we see this movement happening, So all power is in Harinam.
Yes.
So Mahaprabhu is what he wanted. Prabhupada made it happen, and he used the same thing what Mahaprabhu used is Harinam. And he had no money, he had no temples, nothing. He had only Harinam. So see, from Harinam, this whole world has many temples. There is nothing powerful than Harinam. And I think if we do Harinam, Mahaprabhu will be more pleased.
On this note, Haribol!
Haribol!
That's such a nice point. My God. Okay, just follow this. That's it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be very satisfied.
Divyangi Devi Ki!
Right.
Thank you so much, Divyangi Devi, for such a beautiful class, inspiring us to read the pastimes and to do Harinam to stoke our love for Chaitanya. So we're going to have Arti now, so please help clear the cushions and the chairs. Please sing and dance, and I'll be back with a few announcements before Prasadam. Thank you all so much.
Divyangi Devi. Divyangi, would you like to make your comment?
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jinamine
Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine So what's the next?
His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada Ki. His compounder church in Prabhupada Ki. Dignity founder Srila Prabhupada Ki. Nama Church Haridas Thakur Ki. Nam Sigaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Krishna Gopal Gopinath. Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhana Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Navadvip Dham Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Yamuna Mai Ki. Tulsi Devi Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Murlidhar Ki. Chandra Bhagavan Ki. Harinam Sankirtan Yajna Ki. Briyamranga Chandra Johnny Ty, go to Premalandi. Oh, glorious to the assembled devotees. Oh, glorious to the assembled devotees. Oh, glorious to the assembled devotees. Oh, glorious to the Lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Glorious to Shri Prabhupada.
Does she want to? Do you want to do it? Sure. No. Let's ask you.
Someone else.
Let's ask you.
Someone else.
Do you want the harmonica?
Who else is going to do
Let it keep.
Namaste Narasinghaya. Yato
closing out our program today. We're so grateful to have had you all here. So just a few quick announcements before we head to the back and take prasadam. So lots of exciting things coming up at Bhakti Center. First of all, who was here yesterday for our flower festival?
Haribol!
Haribol! Spiritual Warriors coming a second day in a row. It was so wonderful and so beautiful, so thank you. And big shout out, we had a lot of volunteers and a lot of help behind that festival, so big thank you to the devotees that are here and not here that worked so hard on that. Bhakti Center is very proud to be getting back into our commitment to bettering our planet. We are composting, which is very exciting. New York City offers composting and we are part of that. So what does that mean for us? You will see outside we have a can in a garbage bin in outside of the bathrooms. That is going to be for all compostable materials. So all of the plates, the bowls, the napkins, the forks, the food scraps, the cups, everything that we use at Bhakti Center is compostable. So all of that, after you finish prasadam, please put that in the black bin. Or the brown bin, whatever color it is, put it in that bin. If you have something else, you have a water bottle, you have a plastic wrapping, something else that did not come from prasadam served out, please take that and put it in the garbage cans in the bathroom. Or bring it with you, or when you leave. So compostable, where does all the compostable stuff go?
In the brown or black or purple bin, whatever color it is.
Yes, outside of the bathroom. Where does things that are not compostable go?
Inside the bathroom.
In the bathroom, yes, or out to the street when you leave. So thank you, that is very exciting. Okay, it is exciting. Other things coming up. So we have, as we know, Gaur Purnima coming up this Thursday here at Bhakti Center. Haribol. It starts this Thursday at 5 with Harinam, taking a lesson from our lesson today. We will be starting with Harinam. And then another wonderful festival that we have coming up that we're doing on a monthly basis. We have our 6-hour kirtan that is happening the following Saturday, March 16th. That starts at 4 p.m. ends at 10 p.m. Please feel free to come and go as you please. It's very exciting. And then Jaini Thai Prabhu has a few other announcements as well, and I'm going to pass it over. Thank you all.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So just very quickly, if anyone would like to stay connected with us, we have some QR codes here that you could click on to join the Temple at Bhakti Center Instagram or the Temple Updates WhatsApp group. If you want to be part of the newsletter, then you have to join the WhatsApp group, and then you'll see how to do that. Facebook is also there, Temple at Bhakti Center, and then of course our website. So we just encourage everyone to please stay connected. We're very regularly sending out, every week we send out a newsletter, and we're also regularly sending out Instagram updates. Jai Shri And on the WhatsApp, it's, what's it called, only? Admin only, so you don't get spammed, only by us. We're the ones that spam you. With just information about what's happening, regular updates, and if there's changes to programs, so like that. So all of this is there. Today is Ekadasi. So many of you may know what Ekadasi is. Those who don't, it's a day that we fast from grains and also pulses, beans, things like that. So we have a simple serve out for prasadam. Gaur Pranim, just a reminder, Divyangi hit the nail on the head about doing Harinam. So we have introduced at all of our festivals trying to always do Harinam. So for the Gaur Pranim festival, we will be doing Harinam at 5 until 6. We're going to go to Tompkins Square Park to see the Hare Krishna tree, and then we'll come back and go around to see Matchless Gifts and just do all the at least 2 of the holy sacred sites that Prabhupada visited or established when he was here. So we encourage everyone to just come a little early if you can. It's all right. We know you have to work, but you can take a little bit of time off. It's okay. Just tell them I have something very important that I'm doing today, and it's religious or spiritual or something like that. And usually they kind of go, okay. But just come early if you can, and go for the Harinam, and then we'll come back and have a beautiful program for that. And the last announcement, I don't think there was anything else. The last announcement is that although we're regularly here, my wife and I, with the program, unfortunately we won't be here, but we're going away. We're going back to London to visit my wife's family for some time. She hasn't been back in a year and almost a half. So we're going back for the first time. So we won't be here for 3 weekends, but we have a beautiful team of devotees who are here. Ari, Krishna Chandra, I was thinking Haryashvas. Krishna Chandra Prabhu and Jenna and Keshwar Prabhu, and yes, we have a beautiful team of devotees who will be here, and we have great speakers lined up, and you can find out about who they are if you do this. So like that. Okay, thank you all very much. So now we're going to go and take prasadam. I'm going to try to introduce something that we haven't been doing either, which is to chant the mantra before we take prasadam. So this is also a very nice thing. Usually we just all pile in the back and honor prasad, but we should say the mantra. If you don't know it, you can look on your phone. It's called the Prasadam Seva prayer. So Mahaprasade Govinde,
Mahaprasade Govinde,
Rama Brahmini Vaishnave,
Rama Brahmini Vaishnave,
Swapa Punya Vatan Raja,
Swapa Punya Vatan Raja,
Vishvashona Vijayate, Shairada Vijaja, Jodindriya Taika, Jivapale Vishaya Sagare, Dhamaji Javayati, Lobamoy Sudomati, Akajata Katina Samsare, Krishna Baradoyamo, Haribara Jiva Joy, Swaprasada Nidiloba, Sayanam Ritapa, Radha Krishna Gunagan, Koshi Chaitanya Nitai, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Shri Bhagavat Prasad Ki Jai. So everyone can go to the back and honor Prasad. Hare Krishna.